I ain't even going cap. I'm doing some backflips right now because in this chapter, basically two things that I have talked about in the past are kind of going my way, so I'm really excited about this. I don't want to waste any time, so hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Also go in that description and join that Discord. Just come hang out. We are almost at 100 members, so definitely join. So this chapter starts out with them talking about how this dragon, which is Momonosuke, matches the devil fruit that Vegapunk made, and I think this will be very important because throughout the story we have kind of been portrayed that Vegapunk isn't actually a bad guy because, you know, he helped Luffy with programming Kuma to actually guard the Sunny while they were out training, and this is obviously something that they hid from the government. But I think this will kind of lead into some Vegapunk stuff because I think they're actually going to confront him. I think this will be a great catalyst to bring us some conflict between, you know, Vegapunk and the government, because it's already kind of been foreshadowed or hinted at that this dude Vegapunk isn't a bad guy. He literally covered for Caesar when he exploded the whole Punk Hazard thing, but he actually was against everything he was doing. That is a whole another theory video, but I do think that the government has kind of made him work on all of these devil fruits and everything, and I'm very excited to see what will come of this. So we have this mysterious person talking about the orders from above. Now, when I seen this, I immediately thought of what Doflamingo was talking about when he said this was for something higher. This was orders from above when he was at Marineford talking about how he wanted to kill Gecko Moria, I believe. But this is actually insane that they're actually going to try to take over Wano, and the wording says it's been decided that the world government will annex the independence of the land of Wano. They already have ships on their way, so I don't know what the Straw Hats and all the Wano are going to do to fend off this, but this is going to be crazy. It's seeming that Wano isn't actually going to end just when Kaido is defeated. It seems that there will be some conflict after this and maybe even going into the next arc. And this is actually just crazy because pre-battle it was 30,000 versus 5,400, but now it is 12,000 versus 8,000, which is actually insane. Tama is really putting in this work right now, bro. I would say she is one of the MVPs, like in terms of like the fodder side, because in wars generally the fodder matter, you know, like they die for a reason. These things happen, numbers matter, and that's even stated in the story. So Tama really is coming in clutch behind the scenes. We don't obviously get to see all of this because there's just so much other stuff going on, but it's crazy. And here we see that it is Rob Lucci that is on the phone. The big boss is giving the, you know what I'm saying, he's giving the orders out, man. I love that we're seeing this because this means that we're probably going to get something for Lucci. And he's in this room with like Kaku and Stussy, but it doesn't seem like he's on one of the ships because earlier in the chapter he talks about the ships that are coming to Wano as in they're not actually him, you know, his ships, because he says like the ships are already on their way, but how likely is it that they will actually be needed? Not we will actually be needed, but he's talking to it like it is a separate object from him. So I don't think he's actually on his way to Wano, or at least not on these ships that he was talking about. He might be, you know, come last or whatever, because I'm sure their mindset is we don't have to send our strongest people because Luffy is already fighting Kaido and it's looking pretty even right now. All of the soldiers on each side, all the fighters are looking pretty even, and they're probably going to knock each other off. Like, and this is one of the many great tactics of the CP0. I love how Oda is kind of making them actually seem like tactical threats, even though they are really strong. In my opinion, I think they're going to be very strong individually, but just letting them take each other out is just such a brilliant move to make this part of the character traits of the CP0, and just a great overall move on Oda's part. But I just really can't believe I just made a Rob Lucci video saying how strong he was. I just cannot wait until he shows up, and man, I know he's gonna body something, bro. All I'm saying is, for a character that is this old at this point, not old in age, but how he first showed up in the story, Oda making him actually appear in the 2021 arc that is Wano when he was all the way back and I don't know how long, he has to be insane. But it looks like this chapter kind of sets up some, you know, Brook action with CP0, because Brook is currently with Robin, and well, CP0 are heading to Robin because they want to capture Robin and capture Wano as a whole. cool. I could actually see Brook fighting one of the other members. I don't think the stronger members, but maybe one of like the lanky members. Actually, they're all lanky on second. But I definitely see Brook getting an actual one-on-one fight here. And we cut to Onigashima where Momonosuke is doing the same old. He just can't get his confidence up. And there is only 5 minutes until Onigashima reaches the flower capital. And to be frank, to be 1000% honest, to keep it 5 dubs with you, I do not think Luffy can defeat Kaido in 5 minutes. So I think it's going to come down to a last second situation where Momonosuke is literally going to last minute pull one of these clouds out and do this. And it's actually showing that through the little like natural clouds that you can see Onigashima actually, you know, coming really close to the flower capital. Now, one of my biggest questions has always been, what is the relevance of Kaido doing this? Please definitely let me know in the comments, but I just can't come up with the answer. I don't know. I don't think it's been ever even foreshadowed, and if it has been, it is very, very vague. I can't really make anything of it. So this is actually a plot line that I did not know was actually going to be relevant this soon in the story, and this is like the bomb plot line that has been kind of in the background. And Yamato is trying to make sure it, you know, doesn't go off. But there's actually, you know, explosives in the basement. And I think she is going to go discover something crazy here. Obviously, there is going to be bombs, but I do think something else is going to be there. I'm not sure yet. I think it's the same basement that the poneglyph was on. So maybe if she kind of puts 2 and 2 together with everything in the journal, maybe she can put something together and it can serve as an info dump, but I'm not sure. And we actually get to see her full Zoan form, which looks amazing, by the way. I really like this design. Yamato in general has just been a really clean character. But we move on to one of the craziest parts of the chapter, and I kind of want to talk about this because it's about Sanji, so it automatically involves Zoro. I actually low-key want to stream today. I'm not sure though, but I definitely want to talk about how this man Sanji is, you know, kind of fighting Queen, and people are using this for a couple of agendas because Sanji has been, you know, doing some type of damage to him. He's been hitting him really hard. Queen even, you know, says like for a regular kick that was really strong. Obviously he doesn't have like the puzzleness penetration that, you know, someone with a sword or, you know, someone with Ryu or Eternal Destruction or Conqueror's Coding would have. But after Queen like detaches his head from his body, he like projects his head and kind of uses it as a projectile and launches it at Sanji. It actually looks like what Kaku did kind of, without, you know, actually detaching his head. Just kind of like pushing it in and then pushing it back out at a fast speed. And he goes to wrap his whole body around Sanji, and he breaks, like, pausing this again, his, you know, his back, his leg or something like that. And as Sanji gets up, you can see that his leg is literally broke and his entire spine is just bent. But he mentions how it only stings a little bit. I think this is obviously what his brothers had. I remember, I don't know which one it was, but they basically got their head smashed, but it kind of like, it obviously dented in, but it just, you know, kind of popped back into place. So I think, you know, Sanji has finally awakened this type of power, and I actually had a theory that I was working on, but, you know, it kind of got confirmed here. I think he was going to have a power that was going to give him something like this, and it was essentially in a way going to make him a late bloomer. But I definitely want to talk about the final panel and how people are saying, you know, bringing Zoro into it, and even Doffy. I'll explain the Doffy thing first, because they're basically saying that Queen essentially beat, if he didn't have the regeneration powers, he would have been beaten, right? He basically beat a stronger Sanji, so therefore he's automatically above Doflamingo, which I do not really agree with that notion, because number one, they both just messed him up, you know, but Doffy messed him up on their first exchange. There was multiple exchanges where it showed that Sanji was just dealing with Queen very easily and just kicking him in the face, but versus Doffy, he didn't get a hit in. So I don't think it's kind of fair to compare that, but that's just something small. I seen like a couple people mention it, but that was nothing. But the biggest thing is obviously would Sanji tank the ocean sovereignty as easy as Zoro did? Or I guess not easy, but would he tank it easier? I feel like there's a few things to kind of break down right now. On one downside, I do think that this power up is going to give him the boost, and I think it is inevitable that all three of the, the master trio or whatever are going to be kind of relative to each other. That is where I had personally all ranked them. I know obviously everybody has their own, but I think we had to kind of take a step back and just look at it in hindsight, because this exact same thing happened with the Luffy and the Red Rock thing. Something happens, we start overhyping a character, and in the next couple chapters something else happens and it doesn't look like this character was as hype as we initially thought. I'm trying to look at it in an unbiased view, and people that compare it to Zoro, I just don't get, because swinging a regular metal sword at Sanji is 1000% not the same as Zoro blocking two Yonko attacks, whether you want to say it is or not, but it's just not. Obviously Sanji has gotten a crazy durability boost, it seems like, and he has regeneration powers. I don't even think Queen used armament haki when he swung the sword, but honestly it'll probably be corrected that he did or something, but I'm not sure that he did or not. But Queen isn't two Yonkos. This is obviously a great feat of durability, but the thing about Zoro is he has armament haki and he has two swords to kind of put it on to block the attack. And Mihawk mentioned that when you put this on and when you infuse it onto your your swords, at a certain point they basically become unbreakable. So even though he had an unbreakable thing in front of him to block this attack, he still got like 30 bones broken. So I don't think it will be very much different from Zoro, to be honest. He doesn't have anything that will take the attack but his body, and I don't think just because he took a regular sword slash that he would automatically be able to just take I forgot what the attack name is even called, but I'm not downplaying Sanji, by the way, but it's just kind of funny to me that people kind of compare him when Zoro wasn't even in the chapter, like, which is wild to me. That's automatically what they think of. Another thing that's obviously been talked about is where's Sanji in relation to Zoro, and I think this is the closest that it has ever been to me in terms of Zoro and Sanji, because they're actually in extreme difficulty fights with in this lobby. They both kind of struggled a little bit, but they ultimately one-shotted their opponent when they actually got their ultimate attack off. So it's kind of hard to scale, two one-shots in a way, if you get what I'm saying. But I've always said that, I have the monster trio all relative. Luffy is going to be Yonko level very soon, and at the end of the story he's going to be Yonko level. Zoro is going to ultimately beat Mihawk in a battle of one-on-one, and he's going to be Yonko level. That's if you think, Mihawk is on the level of Yonkos, which I do. And Sanji, the last opponent to me, is going to be Green Bull, which I think, he's an admiral. He's going to be close to that level, so they're all going to be able to hang with each other. So it was kind of inevitable that they're all going to be close. My problem with it all is just people comparing two totally different situations, because even though I do think that they are going to be relative, King swinging a metal sword at Sanji and it breaking doesn't automatically mean he's just going to block the freaking two Yonko attacks, which one of those was enough to deal with Queen earlier. But I didn't mean to go on a little rant. I just wanted to kind of talk about it. I've tried to go away from actually just talking about what happens in a chapter to actually talking about things that were surrounding it, things that it might lead into. But yeah, I'm kind of enjoying the this type of review more, because it seems like more refreshing. A lot of people just oh, this happens in the chapter, but I'm trying to kind of branch out. Oh, and another thing, his brothers has the same ability, but Katakuri bodied I think all of them or something like that. So I feel like this is one of those conquerors haki, advanced conquerors haki moments where this isn't going to be the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? Luffy got it, then he fought with Kaido for some minutes, but ultimately got knocked out completely off of the roof. I think people need to look at it in a more overall thing and just look at stats, and you kind of compare them in terms, instead of just saying, oh, this dude got a crazy durability boost, or this dude got a crazy sword, so he's automatically this level. Did enjoy the video? Definitely let me know, comment down below, and just let me know anything else you would like to see me make in terms of videos, and just overall any type of discussion you want to have. I always love talking about One Piece in my comments, and I would love to have you guys down there and just say something. But until next time, everybody have a great day and peace.